Hello, good morning. I'm Diego, and today I wanted to make a video talking about a very interesting topic for me, something that I feel truly passionate about, and it is the tourism industry. So, I'm going to specifically be talking about my experience as a tourism student here in Ecuador, that is the country where I'm from. So, I'm going to be talking a lot about things because really tourism is such a big field of knowledge that you have a lot of things to be talking about. It's never ending, literally. Like I was just planning preparing a script for this video, and ideas came raining to my brain because there's too much that I could talk about, but I'm going to only talk briefly about the major things, the main reasons why you should maybe be interested in studying tourism, or maybe it might not be for you. So, well, first I want to talk about some of the impressions that people get, at least here in my country, where some of them get to know that you are studying tourism. Most of people might think that studying tourism is something where you are not going to find any job at all, and it depends on the person. If you're willing to study really hard and you are really passionate about something, it's mostly 100% certain that you are going to be successful because you are in love with what you are studying, so you are enjoying it. So of that way you are always sharpening your own skills, so you're always going to be moving forward towards your goal. So most people, they react of a way like, oh really, you are studying tourism? It's like you are not going to get any job, you are going to be a failure. Or there are some people who react like, oh, tourism, so you are just simply going to be having fun and vacations, and they think that tourism is just simply like being in a paradise, like you are on vacations, everything relaxed, and the people who study tourism is like they don't suffer or they don't have to do some hard working. Okay, but that's only from the tourist perspective. Like if you are a tourist, of course you are going to feel like if you are in paradise when you go on your holidays. But if you are in the place of someone who is working for the tourism industry, then you are really going to see how it really is, the hard working that all people who are a staff in a hotel or at a resort or a tour operator or whatever other kind of tourism businesses, because trust me, there are a lot of tourism businesses around there. All of them have to work pretty hard in order to provide the best service as possible to the clients. Always the tourists are so demanding. They always have different expectations. One tourist might have some kind of expectation, and there's another tourist that might have different ones, different needs. So we got to be flexible enough and think about all the possible scenarios, and always thinking about the future and how we could do better. And one of the key aspects is to always be proactive and go beyond, go take an extra mile than what you are supposed to be doing when it comes to tourism industry working. For example, I am going to talk some of the hard realities. Cruise ships, all the staff, mostly all of the staff, they don't have day off. So it means that they gotta be working almost every single day, literally all every single day. For example, 10 hours per day, every single day. They don't have like the weekends, 2 days of the week for resting. No, there's no possibility for that. So in some jobs in tourism, you are going to be have to be working even on holidays. For example, today is your birthday, today is an anniversary and a special date for you. You are going to have to keep working because you are working for an organization, for a business, and you have a contract signed up, so you cannot say, can I have a free day today? No, you have to work sometimes every single day, and sometimes not all the jobs are well paid, but there are also jobs that are well paid, but it depends from time to time. So I don't want people who watching this video to believe everything that I'm saying. I'm a student yet, so I just simply talking from my experience and from what I had observed. So maybe some of the things that I might say could be wrong or could be right, but it depends on everyone opinions, and experiences. So I'm talking in this video about my own experience. So always remember that to maintain yourself skeptical and always do your own research and your own searching about the data that I'm providing you. So this is some of the things as well when a tourism professional wants to start working, acquiring a job, and all of those kind of things. It's pretty hard to get started. Like for example, if I'm from Ecuador and I want to travel abroad to another country, I might have to start from the lower position jobs. For example, like a waitress, or in housekeeping, cleaning the rooms in a hotel and things like that. So you, you got to be willing to accept those kind of jobs because it's pretty hard um, to start in the tourism industry. Sometimes you might have to be willing to start from scratch, and then slowly as you start gaining experience in working, especially you got to acquire a lot of experience working with a team, with a group of people, because you have to be willing to communicate. And sometimes interesting is pretty hard to work in teams because everybody's so hurry up situation. For example, if you're working in a hotel, in the restaurant of a hotel, everybody's doing their job, but they are super fast. Imagine they have more or less 500 people that are going to have dinner tonight. So everybody's pretty in high speed and running here, there, doing their job. So there's not too much patience. It's not like a job where your mates are going to be easy on you. Not all the time. Sometimes they are going to be a little bit hard on you because they are into very high speed, and that's something that you are going to face. So in tourism, not everything is of colors of flowers and pink and everything pretty nice and perfect like a paradise. No, that's not the reality. Sometimes some jobs are pretty hard. You have to face angry clients that are going to be a little bit rude with you, and it's not going to be so nice. Sometimes you are going to get go out from your job crying or feeling offended or something like that. But those are things that happen in every single kind of job when you are facing the clients, when you are in front of the clients, speaking to them, and all of those sort of things. And it's completely normal, and you got to get used to that and always answer with a good attitude. Because remember that if you are desperate about it and your clients are angry and you are desperate, it's going to make the situation even worse than before. So always remain in calmness and try to listen to them, and always try to find a solutions, because the client is your boss. In the tourism industry, it is like that. The client doesn't always have the right decision, the right choice. They are not always in the correct position. They might have the correct decision, but to a certain degree, not 100% of the times, as some people usually used to say. That's a wrong idea. So, how did I join to this tourism major? I started because I'm pretty passionate about English and culture and learning about different countries around the world. So I wanted something that had all of it, that includes English, that includes culture, and also I wanted something that could provide me with job opportunities for the future. Because let's be honest, money is important indeed. Money moves the world. So which would be that potentially growing industry right now that probably would last a lot of years in the futures, in the years to come? Definitely, it is tourism. Tourism is never dying. Tourism is not going to stop right there. Tourism is going to keep growing, and here in Ecuador, there might be a lot of potential. But the problem is that we don't have so much safety right now. There are a lot of criminal rates, sadly, so it doesn't allow a lot of the businesses, entrepreneurships to grow up. So some things are getting stuck because of that reason. But literally, that was the reason why I joined it, because I'm pretty passionate about English and culture in general. So I saw that tourism involves all of those things together and even more that I'm going to be talking about just right now. In tourism, you get the chance not only of learning about English and cultures and also about cooking and restaurants and food and beverage, you also get to learn about general management. So, how to manage different areas of different industries. Like it it applies perfectly for tourism, but when you learn about general management, you can also apply those things for other kind of industries. So you will be learning about the general hotel management, entertainment, food and beverage, and we also have internships at the university that I study, that is the UTM, the Universidad Técnica de Manabí in Puerto Viejo. They also provide the opportunity to do internships. So I did an internship at Spain, nearby Barcelona, at Pineda de Mar, and it was a pretty great internship where I got the chance of doing practices at a restaurant. And in that moment, I learned how hard it can be, because really in the restaurants it's pretty hard, it's pretty heavy. But even it's more heavier when you see how the people at the cook, how they're work so hard, and it's so difficult because they work under so much pressure, so it's not easy at all, but it's extremely rewarding to realize that it's much better to study something and to be able to work on something, and you feel so satisfied about yourself when you get the chance to look back in time and realize how much you have learned, and that before you didn't know all of those things, and right now, thanks to the internship, to you are able to go better when you are doing something, and you develop leadership skills, you develop skills of learning faster when it comes to whatever job or whatever work that you are about to do. You will be able to learn faster, to learn quicker, and you will be able also to cooperate better when it comes to work in teams. And also there are some opportunities in Ecuador for working in the tourism industry. For example, you can be a tourist guide, but for that you need some certifications that you need to acquire legal certifications here in the country. You need to make like a kind of course, or you get a certificate, and that certificate allows you to be a tourist guide in certain areas of the country. And as well, it's pretty important to have English certification sometimes if you want to travel abroad and go out of the country, go out of Ecuador, and maybe go somewhere else. Then you will need to show some certification of B2 level or C2 level of English, so that you can have some certain jobs positions as well. So there are certain topics that I want to discuss as well. If you are about to present like a final project here, and you can do different kind of final projects, you can prepare like kind of a dissertation, a research. You can do a complex examination when you have to answer questions. I don't know how many questions there are, but you have to answer questions about different classes that you received during all the semesters. And you have different topics to choose if you decide to also show like the practice of what you have learned, like in face to face or in a video. You have to show what you have learned. At least that's some of the methodologies. It's not everything, there's more, but I'm just talking briefly in this video. Some of the methodologies that my university usually does. For example, you can show abilities in check-in, check-out, and restaurant services, wine services, cocktail as well, how to prepare cocktail. That's the one that I'm about to do. You can also show cooking skills, tour operator, and when you are doing internships, you can also do internship of tourist entertainment. You can also do as tourist guide at a hotel or a botanical garden, and also you can learn about hotel management, and also about the general management of a restaurant. In this case, is what we call as being a maitre, a receptionist, or a hostess. Hostess is the one that is usually by the door of the restaurant, and is the one that receives the people that are going to get into the restaurant. I also used to do it when I was in my internship, and it was pretty interesting. So, if you study that major of tourism, the tourism major, you also have the possibility after you finish your studies of study for a master degree. And there are different fields that you can apply to, and you can apply to different universities Ecuador or maybe abroad. So some of the most important ones that I can recall right now is like sustainable tourism, which is one of the most important ones, because They are teaching right now almost in all the majors of the university, not only in tourism but whatever major you are studying, about sustainable practices. And why academia is doing something like that is because we are trying well to encourage people to do sustainable practices so that we can keep the world, we can keep nature, we can keep the ecosystems as safe as possible for future generations. So if we want our children to be able to live and enjoy of life as we are able to, then we must take care of the world, we must take care of the planet, and even whatever profession you are studying, you need to do to have some knowledge about sustainable practices in able to make it become a reality and that we can make this planet live a little bit longer. All right. So there's also another interesting master degree in tourism that is hotel management. In this master, you can learn about how to manage a hotel, like all the areas. That is a very complex job. You need to have a lot of previous experience, I think, because really, I just simply did my internship at the restaurant of a hotel, and it was pretty hard. So imagine now having to manage with all the departments of a hotel, the restaurant, the cook, the entertainment staff, the bar areas, um, the reception, and the online websites, and the list go on and on. So it's pretty hard. I believe it's something that you need to study a lot and it requires a lot of specialization. But it's also that, at least from my knowledge, I could say that people who work at hotel management have pretty good wage. They got a pretty good income doing this kind of job, but at the same time, it's not easy at all. So it's pretty rewarding to always decide to take on the difficult pathway so that you can learn as much as possible. And there are also specializations, at least at my university, they are offering a specialization on food and beverage. That is one of the main areas in tourism. You can be like a food and beverage director. So always the focus of studying tourism is that in the future you become a boss. You become the one that observes how other people work and that you are able to manage all the different scenarios and that you are always ready to anticipate what is about to come and how could you provide to your clients the best service as possible. So when you do a specialization on food and beverage, you learn about different things about the cook, about the restaurant. You learn about how to provide different services that are provided usually in restaurants and as well as the cooking area. And it's a pretty complex one, but it's also an area of tourism that have a lot of job opportunities in Ecuador and as well on abroad. So this has been the video. It has been a little bit long, but I wanted to talk about all those things because all of these things are pretty important for tourism. And well, that's all the video, and I hope that you like it. Bye bye.